Hello everyone and welcome to D&Q Football. We've been away for a little while on our winter break of sorts. I think that might be back-to-back years actually that we've just not really done anything in February.
Boycotted February,
We've
the worst of
boycotted
the
Feb.
months.
Yeah,
Wait, it's no international football. What were we meant to talk about?
that's true, and it just doesn't seem like there's a lot going on really. I mean, obviously we're building back up to a busy March, which is good. We've got lots of qualifications for stuff like AFCON. We've got CONCACAF Nations League, which feeds into Gold
Yeah.
Cup. There's obviously stuff ramping up even with World Cup qualifiers. So March onwards gets quite exciting again. But I feel like after the World Cup, which we did a fair bit on, and then that was back to back with the AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup. I think that always when it's a busy period like that, and we had it last year with AFCON being in January. It's tough to then go, hi, we're going to talk about something when nothing's really on. So.
I mean, you kept things ticking. You did that cool interview with
that was really cool
Marshall.
With Lloyd.
With
Marshall
Lloyd from the
Islands,
Marshall Islands. Yeah, and that was really really cool. And also we're working men. We've got stuff on, my friend. Like you've been dyeing your hair, which
true,
I feel like. So I think it's worth throwing out there as well. Obviously, I get married in a month's time, and there's a fair bit on the old agenda. We also had my stag do a couple of weekends ago, which you as the best man organised, and I as the groom attended with 10 other blokes, and we had a great time. So we weren't. I mean, we could have done a vlog on that, but it's not really in keeping with the channel, is it? So we're back, and March is great, and it's like. Oh, I always want to hop on and do stuff. We've always said this, haven't we? That we don't want to hop on and do stuff if we're not kind of excited about it, because if we're not into it, that's going to come across. I don't want to just do it for the sake of doing it. Absolutely not. So March looks genuinely unreal, to be honest. We've come into this we've got an agendaless agenda, haven't we, of items to talk about.
We do.
So we have got, and I know you've touched on this, but CONCACAF Nations next month is class. Are we going to? We'll probably do a bit of more of a formal preview as to like what the situation is and who can still qualify,
sure.
who can still get promoted, who can still get relegated. But I'm looking forward to that. Leagues B and C, and maybe a watch along or two, my friend.
I think so. Although, as you've alluded to already, that is around the time that you get married. So
it is actually. Yeah.
We would do like the British Virgin Islands game, and that might be at like midnight on the night. It might be on the night that you get married. So we will try. We'll try. But Ryan's been extremely selfish with the timing of his wedding. So
priorities.
We will try.
We could try and stream it on like a big screen at the venue. The people that turn up, the people that turn up, be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Flow Sports has got BVI versus Puerto Rico.
Nations League C, heaviest environment. Yeah. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, no, exactly. And then also, and then AFCON qualification. Did you say that? I think you might have rattled that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And then also an abundance of, and I'm sorry, I'm looking to the right here because I'm looking at some incredible international friendlies. New Zealand have got a back-to-back against China, double legger. Why the hell not? Yeah. We've got Georgia, Mongolia. Like, come on. Kenya, Burundi, Armenia, Cyprus, Morocco. There's loads. There's loads of friendlies. Guatemala, Panama. Loads of really cool friendlies as well. So international football is back in March, and we're back for it, aren't we? We as West Ham fans as well. I cannot wait. just get me to the international break, mate. Get me to international break. Get Moyes. Oh God, get him. Oh, I don't even want to. We're not that channel. We're not that sort of channel. We're not a West Ham fan channel. I'm not going to start ranting. Looking forward to the international break. Other headlines, mate. I threw a few of these down. You might have seen them. I think it was today. FIFA Women's World Cup stuff. Haiti have qualified.
Yeah, I did see that today.
Beating Chile in the Inter-Confed playoff, which is class. Mate, it's funny. I was watching some videos of them celebrating, and they were doing that thing. Oh my God, what's it called? Is it like the griddy thing? What's it called?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
What is the dance though? It's not that, is it? It's like, what is it? I don't know, mate. It's funny though. So fair play to them. That's absolutely class. They're 55th ranked in the world, and they've got they're in England's group alongside Denmark and I think Fine, I'm not sure. Not sure. Also, then when I was looking at that, did you know that there is still one place to be decided at the FIFA Women's World Cup, which is playoff three, the winner of the playoff three? And as part of that, um, as part of that playoff three, and who is the winner of playoff three, there's four teams, and you have
Mm.
two semi-finals. The winners of that go in then into the final to determine who qualifies. The two semi-finals, Chinese Taipei took on Paraguay, and Papua New Guinea took on Panama. So you could have had, in
Yeah,
theory, a
yeah.
Chinese Taipei Panama. Unfortunately, Chinese Taipei lost out after extra. Oh, they lost out on penalties actually to Paraguay, and Papua New Guinea
Papua New
lost
Guinea
2
lost, yeah.
0 to Panama. So it's going to be one of Paraguay or Panama that takes up the last place at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Bit of a mouthful, but anyway, no, I saw that and I thought that was quite an interesting one to throw out there, and some of the funny stuff online about that. Um, and oh my God, I was going to mention one more thing about the. Oh yeah, it's in. That was it. Not even football related. That's in Australia and New Zealand.
Mm.
This July. They are. I was thinking about that earlier, and I was looking at it on the Wikipedia page. You know that they've got the majority of the venues are kind of across the sort of east side of
Yeah,
Australia.
as you'd expect, yeah.
Yeah, but Perth has also got a venue. So imagine if you've got one game. I don't know. That must be for one group. Because imagine if you had like your first group game on one side, or
Yeah.
even in New Zealand,
And then
then you have
flying
to
in
travel to
across.
then you have to travel to Perth.
Well,
Oh,
that's what we've spoken about the men's World Cup in 2026 as well. Like you could have a game in Canada and then the next game in Mexico,
mm.
and
Oh
it's
yeah. Actually, yeah. Not even thought
and
about
it's
that.
and it's the same situation for the women's World Cup. It's like it's great that it's in an Australia New Zealand thing, and I think that they're kind of looking to host a men's World Cup in 2030 or beyond that. But yeah, there's probably quite a bit of travel involved. It's
Mm.
not the same. I mean, it was the opposite of Qatar, really.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, no. And I was then thinking of that. Do you know? Also, I was thinking about Qatar. That segues beautifully into it's coming round to the I call it the anniversary, but the 1 year on from your trip to Doha, mate.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't really realise that until a couple of weeks ago because I um, exchanged and completed on my house where I live. Literally a few weeks before, it was such a busy period this time last
Yeah,
year
yeah.
because I was doing that and I was trying to organise Doha, and when you're trying to speak to people from Australia, New Zealand, who are 12 hours ahead or whatever it is, trying to organise stuff. It was very, very difficult. But it's kind of mad. It feels like longer ago, actually.
Mm.
And sometimes it feels
Yeah,
like a bit of a dream. You
yeah.
know,
Because I remember I obviously couldn't go
no.
because I was waiting on the birth of my daughter,
Yes.
and so
Again,
you were out
selfish
there.
timing.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm awful. What I'm just when am I going to put D
I
and Q
don't
first?
know.
So I think, mate, actually, I think that would be kind of cool. Now, you did loads, and we did loads of stuff while you're
Mm,
out there. We did loads of videos and stuff. I think you could almost do a bit of a recap in March. You could probably do a looking back a year on from your time at Doha, and I'm sure you've got some other footage from some other videos that you
mm.
could slice, dice, and put something together, mate. I was thinking about that earlier because that was cool. And what a really cool trip to look back on, pal. But yeah, a
It
year,
was. It
almost
was
a
a
year
really
out.
cool trip, and I think it's looking ahead as well to this year and thinking about where could I go, where could we go, what games could we see, and although it's not one of my favourite competitions, I think that the UEFA Nations League, which ramps up again this year, is always an opportunity to go and see teams that are not a million miles away from us geographically as well,
Mm.
which
Yeah,
helps.
yeah.
Teams
You
like
were eyeing up
Gibraltar.
a Faroe Islands game, weren't you, or something?
Yeah, Faroe Islands game I was eyeing up around October time
Mm.
potentially, stuff like that. Those kind of games because I mean not that Qatar's like close or the Middle East is close, but it's not. I may never see the Solomon Islands play again. I may never get to see Fiji, Newcastle, Papua New Guinea, and the like play again. Obviously, I didn't get to see Vanuatu because they all got COVID. The Cook Islands, I'm one of the only people in the last, I don't know, decade probably to actually see the Cook Islands play.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
only once, and then they of course all got COVID as well. But it still counts. So
Yeah.
yeah, eyeing up some more trips for this year for sure.
Yeah.
Because what an experience that was. But I always think it's interesting as well to look at it, and because we had a few, I put out on Twitter topics, questions, queries for this call. and we had a
Oh,
few.
did you?
Yeah, yeah, and we
Have
had a
we
few back.
have we covered any of them?
Not particularly. Not yet. Some of them
Oh,
are
don't forget. Sorry, Tom. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
absolutely. Some of them require, I think, probably almost separate videos. So
Oh, okay.
we got stuff from Ollie, we got stuff from Rob, and we got stuff from Alex as well. So thanks for putting that stuff in. And Ollie sent a whole chunky list, which is great. Hopes for 2023 RE international football. I suppose we've covered that. Minnow Nation team of 2022. Now you and I spoke about maybe even doing a whole video for that, but I wonder if you've got any
I said
ideas
this.
to
I
throw stuff
said
up.
this, mate.
You
I
said
said
this
this,
and then put no time towards it.
mate. I said at the end of
Oh,
last year, I came up with a load of what was decent and strong kind of end
we
of
can
year content.
still do them.
It's kind of yeah. No, we can. We definitely can. Because we were going to have a. I think I even started our list and our little rule, like the rules that we had in place for it. No, where I said you could only select one team from each
That
nation.
was our 11. I think yeah, that was our 11, and that we were going to pick. But in terms of picking like an out and out team, I think 2022 is quite a difficult year to look back on in terms
But
of
didn't
an
we? Yeah, but
individual
didn't
team.
we? Yeah, yeah, but didn't we also come up with that as a topic around the top five nations?
Yeah,
Because
there was a
I
lot of
think we
honourable
mentioned
mentions.
because I think we mentioned Gambia,
Mm,
who at the time of like when we were covering them in AFCON were ranked 150th and got to the
yeah,
quarterfinal.
yeah,
And also Andorra had quite a good year, like from a results
yeah. We
point of view.
tried to do almost a team per region, didn't we? Really excluding
Yeah,
CONMEBOL.
because Papua New Guinea as well. They won the
Yeah,
Melanesia Cup. Like so,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I think we could do the video and do it a bit more justice than us just literally throwing out some names like we're doing now. But
Yeah.
yeah, mate, I've got this stuff in the calendar about. Let's get back on it.
Let's do
Well, there
it.
you go. We've
Let's
got
get
all this.
back to
Mate,
it.
we're talking about all these tournaments that we've got on, and we've got all these cool ideas for videos and our opinions on the winners and losers of 2022, as it were.
We've had the one from Rob, not just managers but players, who to look out for up and coming. And this feeds into something I've been keeping an eye on. Solomon Island players, they've got a lot of
Hmm.
them playing abroad now. You'd have
Yeah,
seen
I have
about
seen that.
Rafa.
Rafa, he's gone to. Who's he playing for? A French team, is it?
No, it's Bosnia Herzegovina, I think.
Oh, is it?
But he's not managed to play a game. I don't think he's been. He's done trial games and got signed straight away. I think he scored in his trial game. But I
My
think there's
gosh.
issues with his passport and what's the word I'm looking for? You
Sort of
know,
eligibility kind of thing.
yeah, because if you're signing someone from a nation that's particularly low in the world rankings, like the Solomon Islands are, there's
Yeah,
rules around signing players, isn't there?
yeah.
Work
He's
permits and
he's
things like that.
he's signed to Velez Mostar,
Yeah,
which is a Serbian team.
that was
I
Serbian.
don't know if this is true. Hold on. On Rafa Leai's Wikipedia page, it's got the for Henderson Eels between 2019 and 2023. He played 44 times, apparently scoring 91 goals. Is that a wiki typo or is that genuine? That's insane if so.
I'm not sure that you'd have to transfer mark that in terms of Henderson Eels stuff. I'm not sure, but all I know is that he is a real up and coming talent from that region. If you're talking about
Yeah.
someone that can potentially propel them to the next level, looking at World Cup qualities, and that's why I think they're arguably one of the best teams from that region anyway, along with PNG, you'd say on paper because of World Cup qualifiers plus the Melanesia Cup, like you've already said, which PNG won. But I just think there's a few young players. Ian Kalu has signed abroad as well, I believe in the New Zealand League. He's gone.
Mm.
Micah Lealafa, I think, is in the Aussie League now, maybe, or New Zealand
Is
League
he?
as well. So there's been a lot of movement with players from that region. I've been keeping up with it on that Oceania Football Centre page, which is a really, really good page for OFC stuff. Really good to follow them. And
Yeah, yeah, we could definitely do a video around that. That sounds like a cool one. It's funny you can get into Wikipedia holes, can't you?
you can
So
easily.
I'm now looking at Michael Lafa, the semi-professional footballer. Is this the right page? Apparently he's playing in Brisbane now.
Yeah,
Not sure.
might be.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what Ollie and I were doing. We were talking about Wikipedia holes. We were playing a game to try and create like a ladder of Premier League managers and how many games they'd managed in the Premier League. So you'd start low and then try and get just above, just above, just above.
Oh, nice. Okay,
And we
okay.
actually, so Ollie banged out Pellegrini, who
Oh,
has
okay.
one
Oh, so you
seven.
started.
No, we did a few before, but then he did Pellegrini, and then we were trying to look for the next one. I said someone that was at like the 250 mark. We were doing it for ages and ages and ages, and we couldn't get anyone around the 200 mark. And then I banged out who is technically next in line, someone who's got 201. Martin Yole.
Oh,
I said
nice.
Pardew. You know he's got like 300.
Yeah, it's because
He managed everyone.
he managed everyone. Yeah, we got that in the Prem, haven't they? That as part of clubs' season on season attempt to survive when they have a bad patch, they sack the manager like someone like Alan Pardew and replace him with Sam Allardyce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, talking about international managers, you'd have to say that one of the best kind of winners across the last couple of years has got to be Mano Polking, the Thailand manager, really. I mean,
serial winner.
Serial winner of that AFF competition. We're not going to get it this year because obviously the one last time was delayed. It's a kind of it's a biannual tournament, so yeah, I mean, it's incredible, really, how they just keep winning that tournament. Not had too much success in AFC World Cup qualifiers, but maybe this will change because we're going to do a whole series of videos, aren't we, around World Cup qualification, how that's changing, what that means for all the regions. They've not started yet, so that's you're pulling faces like you've actually put any time into D&Q. Since
I put it on the list, I've had that on the list for ages. I think they're really good videos because I think the growth of the tournament from 32 to 48 teams is very interesting and creates a lot of questions around what's the formalities of who gets more places, and then also that lends itself to like, well, who of the smaller nations on the planet have got the best shot of qualifying? I know it's probably things that we've spoken about on live streams before. You probably have when you were doing some Electric Cup stuff. And I think they're really cool. I think they're really cool topics because we could see some of these lower ranked teams getting, not maybe making it to that World Cup stage, but at least having a real close opportunity to do so.
Are you a fan of the switch to 48 teams?
I don't know. I don't know. I think immediate reaction would be, oh no, dilute the quality. But I love international football. So what's more teams as part of the biggest tournament on the planet. Time will tell with it, mate. Really, I think kind of asked me that after the first edition of it, and then I'll give you a proper answer. What about you? Early doors? You're not keen, are you?
Early doors, I'm not particularly keen because I still think you're going to end up with a round of 32 after the groups, which would just siphon out the teams that qualify that wouldn't have qualified before. I don't think it's going to make any kind of grand difference. I think that the quality of the elite is too high in this tournament.
You never. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Although with football, you never know.
That's the beauty of it. Because look at Gambia at AFCON, their first AFCON. They got
exactly.
But
exactly. Yeah.
Who knows?
So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to also. We'll see actually. Like just sort of muddling around that point a little bit more. I like the concept of it really, but then also I would prefer for them to make the World Cup or keep the World Cup 32 and launch a new tournament, which is another 16 or 32 team tournament, which was the lowest ranked teams on the planet, and they have to have a tournament to find out who's the winner of that.
I wonder if you would see teams throwing games to fall into that.
Oh, mate, I swear down, that's such a good point. Like, so if you genuinely, right? So let's say we're massive, we win the lottery, and we think, what are we going to do with it? Well, I'm not going to pay off my mortgage because I'd rather lose it all creating an event that hosts all of the D&Q World Cup or the D&Q International Tournament, whatever you want to call it, right? 32 teams or however big you want to start it off, 16 teams, whatever. Say you have this tournament, which is the 32 lowest ranked teams on the planet, and or the 32 lowest ranked who can make it from, say, like the bottom 50 or however you do it, right? However you do it. Imagine that kind of, you do that every 2 years, every 4 years, however common the World Cup is, whatever. And because there is an audience for people that love football and that love this kind of football, and also the fans of those nations, you are talking about some serious viewership here. The event gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and countries participating get sort of financial rewards, and it puts their players and their country kind of on whatever stage it is in front of large audiences. mate, I can guarantee you'd be having like Nations League games or friendly
Yeah,
games that were
yeah.
like that were FIFA scored.
Mm.
They'd be going, yeah, but if we lose this, we can actually go and play
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that
I think you would.
that other cup. It'd be class, wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't know. It gets a bit dodgy. It gets a bit dodgy.
No, it's good, mate. It's
It
good. The
reminds me
D&Q Cup.
of a balls up essentially that they made in the Olympics. I think when it was in London, and you had two teams. It was bloody badminton, and you had two teams trying to lose their group game.
Oh, yeah, because
Um,
they then got because they were guaranteed to come top two,
yeah,
and the team that came second had a
an easier
an
tie.
easier tie. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I
they were both
remember
trying, and they
that.
both got kicked out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
because they just
interesting. I
kept
didn't know
serving it into the net.
that. Yeah, they
So
did. Yeah,
it went it went against like the meaning of the
yeah,
sport or
yeah.
whatever. But I think you would have teams. Not saying that we would create such a good tournament, but I think if there was a tournament that looked at, like say, the lowest 32 ranked teams in the world, and there was a team that was 33rd from bottom,
Yeah,
and they looked at it and went, oh, you know what, we could probably win this. We get good exposure. There's financial reward. 100%.
yeah. They're throwing it.
Against. You'd be organising friendlies against San Marino and just throwing it. I
No,
wonder
well,
what
yeah.
they'll do this year. They had so many friendlies
What
last year, didn't they? San
friendlies? I
Marino.
don't know. Yeah,
And
mate. They're
didn't
going to
manage
try
to
and
win any of them. They're
no,
desperately trying to win a game.
they're gonna arrange a friendly with the British Virgin Islands under 12s and try and get a win.
Who wins
No,
BVR? Who wins BVR San Marino?
BVI.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, they're my boys.
No, absolutely,
It's a
absolutely.
really close game. It's a really close game. It's just following that. Oh, I think it's close actually. I think it would be BVI solid at the back. And
That's the
San
main
Marino
foot up
don't
that I think
really.
they've got because San
They've
Marino
got
don't
pace.
score and BVI good defensively, and they've got pace going
Um,
forward.
if you could, just talking about the tournament stuff, if you could host a tournament that not 16 teams or anything, but four teams, right? So either you're doing it group stage or whatever, but you have four teams that you are your launch edition of the cup, the D&Q Cup. Which four teams are you picking?
Can they
And
be
you can
from
only
anywhere?
yeah, they can be from anywhere, but I'm going to give you a rule that it has to be one from you can't double down on a confederation. So you can't
Yeah,
do like
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't
Okay,
have
that's
like
fine. Yeah,
Solomon
yeah.
Islands and Papua New Guinea, for example.
So I'd say PNG.
Oh, you go them over Solomon's, interesting.
I would go Montserrat.
Okay, they're
I'm
quite
not
highly
going like
ranked though.
lowest ranked. Do you want me to go lower
No, no,
ranked?
that's no, that's
I'm
cool. I'm
talking
good for that.
still in the branch of minnow,
Yeah,
but decent. So I'd be going like Eswatini, PNG, Montserrat.
yeah.
Then I'm trying maybe Singapore
Oh, okay, okay.
because I
That's
think that would
interesting.
be quite. I have no idea how that would go.
No, okay, okay. I am thinking. So I would go. I wouldn't go PNG. I'd go Solomon Islands. I would also go. Yes, to be fair, Montserrat are only 179. To be
Mm.
fair to you, I would go.
They'd just be missing out on our lowest 32 then.
Oh,
So
gutted.
they'd be throwing it.
I'd go. I know they're down there, but I'd also go Sri Lanka. I think they'd be a cool addition. So go Solomon Islands, Sri Lanka. Uh, someone from CONCACAF, maybe someone like Aruba or Bahamas or something. And then I would then throw in San Marino. Those would be my four teams. So I'd go San Marino, Sri Lanka, Solomon Islands, and say like Bahamas. Oh, that's a good tournament, isn't
But
it?
that's the thing. We've
Who's
just
not
picked
who's
four
not
different.
paying
I know.
who's not
I
paying
know.
through the roof to watch that stuff, man? Woo!
I think you could
Honestly.
organise something with a few CONCACAF teams that are mainly Europe based, like France or like Haiti, for example, got a lot of French based players. Montserrat, a
Mm.
lot of people in the UK, and then like San Marino. So
They'd come over. They'd be keen.
100%.
They'd
Do you
play
want
it
me to
again.
get in the DMs?
Yeah. Oh, don't tempt me, my friend. Don't tempt me. Yes, mate. Oh, I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. Oh, yeah. Just it'd be so great, wouldn't it? So
It
great.
would be. It would be. So I've got one more thing which Alex put forward
Okay.
on Twitter, which is I don't think it would warrant a whole video, but it's just one off the top of your head.
Okay.
He said
Okay.
best minnow match of 2022, but I'm going to ask you instead most memorable for you minnow match of 2022.
probably Solomon Islands 3, Papua New Guinea 2. It was 3-2, wasn't it, in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers in the semi-final.
I think
I'm
it
pretty
was.
certain it was
I think it
3-2. I'm
was.
pretty certain. That one straight away, because you and I think we live streamed it and we had loads of people watching with us.
Yeah,
And it
it
was
was
really, I just
3-2.
loved it. And the game itself was brilliant.
Mm.
Yeah, just that straight away, mate. For me, I was going to say something about how when they won the Melanesia Cup, beating Vanuatu dev team on pens, but no, it's
Mm.
the because I think you know when we live streamed that and we were there almost witnessing that game, weren't we? Which was really really great.
It was incredible. It was incredible. I was thinking about that Melanesia Cup and about that Vanuatu development team and whether or not it would be them for me. It's so tough to look back on the whole year and try and remember a particular game. I would. It's
Yeah, I
not the
mean, yeah,
best
there's
game,
loads.
but one of the most memorable games for me would have to be one of the ones I was at in Qatar.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
What
so.
about when was it the Solomon Islands beat someone quite convincingly, didn't they? And they scored that great counter attack that you managed to get on your. Was it
They
Tahiti they
beat
beat?
they beat Tahiti, yeah, but I think the most memorable match of 2022 for me, because I was there, because of how important it was in the group, and because of the drama. Again, I think OFC would have to be when Fiji beat New Caledonia.
Yeah, was that fairly late on, wasn't
It
it?
was
The
quite
winner,
late
fairly
on. They
late,
got
wasn't
that
it? Yeah.
winner. It was a decent goal. Sarusi Nalabu was insane in that game. It was just a great game. It was maybe not the best match because I think some of the best matches I saw technically were actually at the end of the year in the AFF Electric Cup. Because I think some of those Asian teams like Thailand and
Mm.
Vietnam, but you're getting into the realm of maybe a bit too good. Some of those teams, but that I would have to say that Fiji winner. But it's slightly biased because I was there.
Mm. Yeah, no, good selections, pal. Good selections. So mate, when are we back then? Let's
That's such
square
a good
this.
question. When are we back next? Well, we will be back sometime next week recording a video, and we're going to
Like
do
it.
loads of videos across the next few weeks as we preview the stuff that we've already mentioned in this video. So AFCON quals, Nations League, qualifiers, etc., etc. Do a few other things that we've spoken about as well, how qualification works in different regions, and maybe putting in who we think is going to qualify. Minnow Nation Teams 2022, players to watch out for the future, and also maybe I might treat you to a few more interviews as well if you are lucky. If
Yeah,
you
sounds
are
good.
lucky. So what have you got to do? You've got to like, you've got to subscribe, you've got to comment, share this vid. It's been a bit of a 25-minute ramble. We appreciate you sticking with us for that, but we're just getting back to it. We've been away for a little while. We apologise for that, but we are back again. And if you have watched to the end, then thank you very much. And we will see you next time.